me de biarado. Kobi kami unenina. Okamu ara kenina. Duonya mi kakra kabi kami hu. Denina okami hu ara. I will lift up my eyes to the hills. From whence cometh my help? Help cometh from the Lord. Some posting horses and chariots, some me money and fame, but one thing I know for sure. Victory lies with God. If you know my friend from Musumnia Oni Nansu, who catch your word. If you know my couture, I'm Musumnia Oni Nansu. Aha. You tell them. Ebinu kutu insuoni niya nasu ye bida ye freya we ebinu kutu antuani tigari nasu ye bida ye kutu Jehovah. We are calling Jehovah. Everybody call him Jehovah. The ever faithful God, Jehovah. Jehovah will answer. We are calling Jehovah. Jehovah will answer. Yebesu yafre Yehovah no. Obeti Yesuda. Mirim Baba, every song Betty Misu. Obeti Yesuda. Yebesu Yafre Yehovah no. Yehovah Betty Misu. Obeti Misu. Yebesu Yafre Obotentim Yami. Obotentim. Why? Esumafra Obotentim Yami. Rock of Ages. Esumafra Obotentim. Aha. It's amazing. We are calling El Shaddai. El Shaddai, never die. I know line, I be high. We are calling El Shaddai. El Shaddai, never die. I know line, I be high. Bosukena, we are calling you everyone. El Shaddai, never die. I know line, I be high. God. Yahweh. It's amazing. I have a very big God, yo. biara do o kroko bi kame unenina okame ara kenina no nyame kakra kabi kame hu denina okame.
Wow. Welcome to Mentorship 360 with Bernard Elbernard. We are going to have an awesome time in the presence of God this evening. But before I continue, I want my panelists to introduce themselves. From my left, we have...
I'm Vincent Bannerman. I am Mubarak Day.
Salomadum.
I'm Parkrisi Cranton.
Well, today I'm dealing with 101 Wisdom Secret. I welcome all of you to Mentorship 360. You can share it so that other people who are in your network can also get our feed. Now I want to read a scripture from Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 14 downwards. There was a little city and few men within it, and there came a great king against it and besieged it and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and its words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Now, verse 18, wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. My next scripture is Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. I am talking from my book 101 Wisdom Secret with Bernard Elbernard. I believe that beneath every problem is a wisdom challenge. Anytime you go through an issue and you have done everything possible and you can't come out of it, then it's a proof that there is a problem with wisdom. Anytime wisdom is displayed, miracles are manifested. You can never attend the school of wisdom and not graduate with result. Now the story we read about this city that was taken over by a great kingdom, when the issue came up, we find out that almost all the resources in the city could not deliver this small kingdom from the great kingdom. But there was found in that city a man who was endowed with wisdom, and this man through his wisdom delivered the city. But the Bible makes us to understand that this man was forgotten. He was forgotten because his wisdom could not give him riches. Any dimension of wisdom that cannot give you proofs is a questionable wisdom. Bible says that wisdom is only good with inheritance. So anytime wisdom is manifested, there are proofs of result. Now wisdom have the ability to build. So in order to build anything great, anything everlasting, anything that will become have the ability to move from one generation to another generation, then you will need wisdom. Proverbs chapter 9 verse 1, wisdom have builded her house. With wisdom you'll be able to build great enterprises. With wisdom you'll be able to build great ministry. With wisdom you'll be able to build your marriage. So whenever things are not being built, it is a proof that wisdom is not there. Proverbs chapter 24 verse 3, through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established. So anytime there is wisdom, we are able to build. Proverbs 24 verse 4 downwards, and by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. So anytime you have wisdom, you also have strength. For by wise counsel shall thou make thy war. You cannot be strategic in warfare. You cannot be strategic in becoming a man of impact without wise counsel. Proverbs chapter 24 verse 7. Wisdom is too high for a fool. Fool cannot celebrate the glory of wisdom. Fools cannot celebrate the glory of wisdom, for wisdom is too high for them. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 5 downwards. Get wisdom, get understanding. So that means that to be able to operate in the dimension of wisdom, you need to pursue wisdom. You need to embrace wisdom. You need to have an intercourse with wisdom. And when you have intercourse with wisdom, it will be able to preserve you. Get wisdom, get understanding, and when you get it, forget it not. Neither decline from the words of my mouth. So make sure you operate by wisdom. Verse 6. Forsake it not. Immediately you embrace wisdom, you lay hands upon wisdom, make sure you don't forsake wisdom. Why? For wisdom will preserve you. Wisdom will preserve your life. Wisdom will preserve your inheritance. Wisdom will preserve your investment. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Wisdom is the main thing. Wisdom is the foundation of everything you see in this world. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Understand that whenever you go to bed with wisdom, you give birth to undeniable proofs. So proof is a byproduct of wisdom. You cannot have intercourse with wisdom and not have enviable result. When the pursuit of wisdom becomes your obsession, uncommon result becomes your birthright. When the pursuit of wisdom becomes your obsession, uncommon result becomes your birthright. Understand that when you embrace Jesus, you embrace the totality of God's wisdom. When you embrace Jesus, you embrace the totality of God's wisdom. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 24. But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God. You cannot operate in the heaven kind of wisdom. You cannot operate in the God kind of wisdom outside of Jesus Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 16. For who have known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. Every born again Christian has access to the mind of Christ, but you need to pursue it. You need to pursue it. So wisdom secret 1, wisdom key number 1, whatever anyone has done is a proof of what you can do. Wisdom key number 1, whatever anyone has done is a proof of what you can do. Whatever anyone has been able to achieve is an evidence of what you can achieve. So when you look around you, you see people making it in almost every area of life. When you see them, you realize that these people don't have two heads. When you see them, you don't become envious of them. They are just pictures of the future you must capture in the light of the scriptures in order to feature in those future. So if a man has been able to succeed out of nothing, then you also have the divine ability to do the same thing the man has been able to do. If someone has been able to become T.D. Jakes, then when you take inspiration, when you ask questions about what he was able to do, you are able to have the same proof. Philippians chapter 4 verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I believe that I can become whoever I want to become. If I can learn from people in the light of scripture, then I can become whatever they have been able to become. Wisdom key number 2, if you can think enough, what you have is enough. If you can think enough, what you have is enough. If you can picture it with your mind, then you can capture it with your hand. Most of the time, I meet a lot of people who say that they don't have enough resources, they don't have enough people, they don't have enough encouragement. And I find that most of the time, the problem has to do with their thinking capacity. Your thinking capacity determines your working ability. It is not how much you have, but how much you are able to engage your mentality. If you can engage your mentality, out of nothing, great things can start. Productivity in life is a function of your mental ability. If you can think it, then you can have it. If your mind cannot capture it, then your hand cannot handle it. Your mental picture depicts your actual future. Proverbs chapter 23 verse 7, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, said he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. So as you think in your heart, that is who you are. If you think you were nobody, you end up as a nobody. If you think you cannot make it, no matter whatever we say, no matter whatever we do, you will not make it. If you think you can make it, then you take practical steps toward the achievement of that dream or that purpose. Keep on sharing, keep on inviting people so that they will be part of this awesome discussion. Wisdom secret number 3, the quality of your future is determined by the quality of your decisions today. Wherever you are today is influenced by the decisions you took yesterday, and wherever you will be tomorrow is determined by the decisions you are taking today. The quality of your future is determined by the quality of your decisions today. Everything in life starts with a decision and ends with a decision. Greatness in life is hidden in decision. Your decision decides your health. Decision decides your wealth. Decision decides your glory. Decision decides your wealth and decide your future. The beauty of your future is hidden in right decisions. When you take right decision, right things start happening. The future you want to live can be started today by taking quality decision. The difference between your present and your future is hidden in decision. The point of exit is also the point of entry, which is the point of decision. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 19. I call upon heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. So whether you want to live or you want to die is a matter of decision. Whether you want to be poor or you want to be rich is a matter of decision. Whether you want to sit down or you want to run is a matter of decision. Wisdom key number 4. Keep on sharing. Keep on inviting people to be part of this great episode. Okay? Wisdom key number 4. Everything in your future is already in your present. Whatever you are looking for, the car you want to drive, the business you want to own, the CEO you want to become, the marriage you want to enter in is already in your future. You want to become a millionaire, it's already in your present. When you take practical steps towards the issues of the future in the present, you are able to interpret the issues of the future in the present, and you are able to get there. The choice you make today determines the future you enjoy. Wisdom key number 5. Wisdom key number 5. Whatever you have not been given is hidden in someone close to you. Whatever you have not been given is hidden in someone close to you. You are just a person away from a breakthrough. You are just a person away from promotion. You are just a person away from fame. You are just a person away from miracles. You remember, whatever God has not given you, He has already given to somebody close to you. In 2 Kings chapter 5, there is a story of Naaman. Naaman was looking for his healing. And Naaman never knew that the healing he was looking for was packaged in the servant in the house. There are people you come across every day. who carry the answer to whatever you want to become. Wisdom key or wisdom secret number 6. One of the easiest ways of achieving your dream is to help others achieve their dream. One of the easiest ways of achieving your dream is to help others achieve their dream. As I'm here, my desire is to help and motivate you and inspire you through the light of the scriptures, so you'll be able to pursue that which God wants you to pursue. At the same time, I'm also fulfilling my life assignment. If you want to make it in life, find people to invest in, find people to help. As you begin to help the people, your dream will come to life. When Joseph brought interpretation to the dreams of Pharaoh in Genesis, Pharaoh eventually brought interpretation to the dream of Joseph. When the poor widow gave the prophet, the God of the prophet gave back to the poor widow. When you clap for others, they will eventually clap for you when it is your turn. Wisdom key number 7. Before you fall in love with a man or a woman, fall in love with the quality of his or her mind. Before you fall in love with a man or with a woman, please first fall in love with the quality of his mind. The quality of his mind is a reflection of the quality of his life. Whoever you are married or want to marry is a reflection of your wisdom. If I want to know how wise you are, I will look at the man you want to marry, or the woman you want to marry, or the man you have married, or the woman you have married. No matter how intelligent a man looks, no matter the degrees the person have, if the person desires to marry a goat, that person is another goat wearing human skin. So if I know the woman you want to marry, I can tell you how wise you are. Don't be deceived by what you see on the outside. Performance is not the same as personality. When as you see me, that is called performance. My personality might be able to mark up to my performer, but most of the time we go for performance without looking at the personality. Wisdom key or secret number 8. One of the greatest blessings God can give to a people on a mission is good leadership. One of the greatest blessings God can give to a people on a mission is good leadership. Your leader determines your pace and your space in life. Great leaders have the capacity to cast a vision and inculcate the vision in the lives of their people. They use their influence, they use their insight, their talent, their resources, their connection, their platform to cause their followers to do far better than them. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 16 and 17. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princess eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princess eat in due season, for strength and not for drunkenness. Wisdom secret or key number 9. Every person's greatness is hidden in his or her ability to turn problems into solutions. Every person's greatness is hidden in his ability to turn problems into solutions. Whenever you see problems, you see money. Whenever you see obstacles, you see miracles. Whenever you see darkness, you see light. Until you are able to turn the dark issues into your life, when you are not able to turn the dark issues in your life into greatness, you will not be celebrated. When you stand in the school of answers, men will pursue you with questions. When I was operating the restaurant of questions, no one pursued my wisdom. The world is thirsty for men who have answers to the questions of life. When you have the answer to people's question, your grammar does not matter. When you have answered to people's questions, your height does not matter. When you have answered to people's questions, your race does not matter. Let us become people who have answers to the questions of the world and who have the attention of people without struggle. Wisdom secret or key number 10. The voice of excellence has a reward. The voice of excellence has a reward. People will pay excellent rewards only for excellent work. You are therefore successful to the degree to which you do more things better than the average person. A commitment to excellence is the safest and the most predictable strategy for outstanding success in any field. A commitment to excellence is the safest and the most predictable strategy for outstanding success in any field. Daniel chapter 6 and verse 3. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. At this stage, I want to give you opportunity to ask questions and to bring your contributions. Then we will take it from there. So keep on sharing, keep on inviting people. Now send your questions, send your comment, and I believe God to be able to help you here. So we will take some few questions from the house, then we'll come back to Facebook and YouTube and begin to answer your questions. And maybe on Instagram, if you are watching me via Instagram, we will also answer some questions there. So now in the house, you can start with your questions, then we'll take it from there.
But my question is on the point that who you marry is a reflection of your wisdom. So then, in the case of Abigail in the scriptures, Bible let us know that Abigail was a virtuous woman who married Nabal, who was a fool. So was that a reflection of the wisdom of Abigail?
Abigail was exactly who she was. If Mrs. Antelope travels, no matter how Mrs. Lion is naked, he will never, Mr. Antelope will never go for Lion. So you attract who you are. So Abigail was equal to Nabal. And I believe that at a point in their marriage, wisdom answered for Abigail. So that's my answer for you. Anyone you have married is a reflection of your wisdom.
Daddy, a follow-up question for Vincent. So is it that wisdom relative?
Wisdom is not relative. Wisdom is wisdom. Wisdom is seen in your choice. If you see DDT, you see Coca-Cola, and you decide to drink DDT, then I know how wise you are. You determine the depth of someone's wisdom by matching the person's personality with his performance. Now, the scripture we read, we find out that this man, they called me a man of wisdom, but the man could not use his own wisdom to turn things around in his life. So by the end of the scripture, the Bible said that same poor man, they emitted the word wisdom. But any wisdom that cannot turn your life around is a suspicious wisdom. Okay.
That is so if the man has been deceived by the wife, the character of the wife was hidden, so that time is now a thing to bring it out. When the person is deceived, does it mean the person is a fool?
I won't call the person as a fool, but I believe that all of us grow in our wisdom. So the decisions I took yesterday, I might not take the same decision today because I have new insight into life. So at almost every time you need to desire to grow. Now the more you grow, you find out that there were things I used to believe in the past, but now because of access to information and other things, you have outgrown those things. And you are presented with similar situations, you might not handle them the same way you handled them yesterday.
Thank you, Papa. Papa, please, you spoke about the wisdom of God. I want to ask, is there anything such as the wisdom of man? And if there is a wisdom of man, can you possess it?
The wisdom of man is what we call common sense. Most of the time, when a child is born, you don't need to teach the child where to put food. When the child picks the food, he will know where to put. That is common sense. But most of this common sense is not common to man. So even what you should be able to use common sense to achieve, most people cannot achieve it by common sense.
So is wisdom related to education or mental intelligence?
Well, wisdom can be enhanced by education. Wisdom can be equated to mental intelligence. But I believe that there are people who have never had what we call the formal education, but they have informal education. Life is all about education. The Bible said that go to the ant and learn. So it does have a realm of education. So almost everything you come across in life is a teacher. There's something they want to teach you. When you meet a fool, there's something the fool want to teach you. Look at me and don't become like me. So education is everywhere. So wisdom is a product of education, but not necessarily classroom education. Yeah.
Thank you, Papa. Papa, please, when the Bible says that we should be wise as a serpent, what exactly is the Bible saying?
Well, I believe that the Bible wants you to know that whenever the serpent see danger, the serpent run away. So in the same way, when you see danger approaching, you run away. The Bible says that flee fornication is danger. So when you see it, you don't embrace it, you run away like the serpent.
Daddy, is it always that when your life reveals success, it's an indication of wisdom, or when your life reveals proofs, it's an indication of wisdom?
I believe that when your life is able, I believe that God is wise, and we see his wisdom expressed by his creation. So through demonstration of wisdom will be seen by what you have been able to do. Not you only, but what your wisdom have been able to help other people to achieve. If all that your wisdom can do is to make you successful and cannot make other people successful, then we need to question that realm of wisdom.
Daddy, please, you mentioned of the quality of your future is determined by the quality of your decision today. Looking at people such as Ben Carson and other people, they dropped out of school quite early. We don't know why, but at the long run, they made some improvements in life and they came to the top. What can you say about this?
Well, so they took quality decision. That's why they are where they are today. They were presented with two options, and they find out that going for this option is far better than that option, and that's what have made them great. So what decision do you take per time? When we are presented with different options, which one is the best among them? So keep on sharing it and keep on bringing your question. We will start getting to all the questions on Facebook right now. Yeah.
Now, how do you identify those future things in the present?
So the future things in the present, number one, many years ago, you were a single man. Your marriage was in your future. So you took a decision in the present that produced what you were looking for in the future. Yeah. So questions on Facebook, keep on bringing your questions, and we will believe God to answer them.
A follow-up question to what Pakwesi asked.
You keep on asking follow-up questions.
How do you recover from a decision you made in the past that has brought a negative consequence on you?
Yeah, all of us have taken decisions that at that time we thought that was the right decision. Now you have realized that that was the wrong decision. Take the right decision. That will be able to correct the wrong decision you took yesterday.
And for example, when you have ended up marrying somebody you did not want to marry.
How?
Or somebody you did not know.
Almost everybody who have married someone you wanted to marry. Even if the person was imposed on you, you accepted.
Okay, Daddy, so can you realize later in life that the purpose, calling, assignment of you is different from the person? So in such a situation, how do you change? How do you manage?
You keep on, you see, I believe that immediately you enter the marriage institution, even before you enter, there are things you are supposed to do. Now, before God brought Eve to Adam, you realize that God had already made sure that Adam had a job. In other words, he had discovered his purpose, he was pursuing his purpose, and God brought Eve to come and help Adam achieve that purpose. Now, there were instructions that God gave Adam, so when the woman came, it was the responsibility of Adam to now be able to communicate those visions, those instructions to the woman. Now, I believe Adam could not do it effectively. That's why we ended up where we are. So in case you find yourself yourself in that marriage, keep on teaching, keep on teaching, keep on teaching, and I believe the grace of God will take care of it and turn things around for you.
Giving us keys to acquire wisdom. I want to ask, mean that there's a process and a procedure to follow in order for you to acquire wisdom. I want to ask if wisdom can be imparted.
Wisdom can be imparted. The Bible says, and Moses laid hands upon Joshua, and Joshua received the spirit of wisdom. So the spirit of wisdom is different from wisdom itself. Now, if I learn whatever that I've learned, I can't pray for you to receive it. If you really want to receive it, there is a realm of impartation that comes through teaching. So as I'm doing, I'm still imparting. So I believe that word in Moses laid hands, it wasn't only hands that he laid. He spent time with Moses. He spent time with Joshua. So Joshua received the teachings of Moses and started behaving like what Moses taught. But if I lay hands, you will not receive what I have learned. You need to learn it before you can receive it. Even the Holy Spirit's responsibility is to bring to our memory whatever we have learned. So what I'm doing is impartation. You will never see anywhere in the Bible where Jesus laid hands upon the disciples. But the Bible says he called them to be with him that he might send them. For how did he impart them? He imparted them by teaching them, by showing him what he do, how he does it, and they follow the same thing. Yeah. More questions? If there are questions on Facebook, just draw my attention to it.
There's one question from Kobna Kibison. It says that, how can I make a difference with my gift?
How can you make difference with your gift? Number one, develop the gift, nurture the gift. Number two, package the gift. Number three, place value on the gift. Number three, look for avenue of exposure. And one of the avenues of exposure is social media network. Most people have access to social media. So if you don't have any platform, use the social media network God has given to you, and people will see what you have before you realize they will come for you.
Okay. Noreen Combo says that, man of God, why are most vessels stingy with sharing or imparting information with what they know to the next generation?
I'm not sure that most men of God are stingy. It is my belief that until you ask a question, you are not qualified for an answer. Until you have desired to pursue, you are not ready to be taught. Now as I'm speaking, you are online listening. So if you make yourself available, then they will also teach you whatever they want to teach you. Jesus never spent time teaching the Pharisees, but he spent time teaching the disciples, because the disciples were ready to listen.
A question on the leadership. You said one of the greatest things that God can give to every people on a mission is great leadership. Now, let's say if you find yourself brought up in a place where you grew up following the leadership of your parents, let's say in a church ministry, but you grew up to realize that leadership is not what you need. What do you do about it?
There is always a point of transition in leadership. There comes a time where you follow someone's leadership and you also enter a realm where, like on a scale of 1 to 10, and 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, then if your leadership skill grows beyond to, let's say, 10, and a person under leadership skill is 6, you better look for someone else and submit to.
Okay, so with this one, talking in relation with a spiritual father, maybe once you are growing up in ministry, you admire a particular man of God, you admire his leadership, but as you follow him as a young person, you get to a certain level where you get exposure, you grow, you realize that his leadership is not adding much value to you as you want. So in that way, did you cut him off? How do you?
It's the same leadership you are complaining about that has been able to build you to who you are. It's possible for a father never to enter the university, but be able to raise up a son who become a professor. The fact that you become a professor doesn't mean that your father's leadership is questionable. What it means that your father has a lot of ability to bring more professors. That's why you have made you a professor. So still keep on submitting. Okay. But there are times where in your area there are people who are higher. You just also look up to them. Why should you still submit to your father?
So that when there is conflict amongst the people who are mentoring you in the ministry, for example, because of denominational or doctrinal differences, you are submitting to, let's say, 3 different...
That is called confusion.
What do you do as a son?
Until you have one dominant voice in your life, you are walking in confusion. Every day, every time, there must be someone's voice that when other voices speak and that voice speak, all the voice can keep quiet. That's why in the life of Jesus Christ, the voice of the Father was the most prominent, even though there was the voice of the disciples. You remember when they went the Mount of Transfiguration and all these guys came around, there were voices there. The voice of Peter, the voice of the guy, but he made the voice of the Father supreme. So among voices, there must be a voice, the voice.
Abraham Asamoah, Papa, please, how can one differentiate between the wisdom of man and that of God?
The wisdom of God will always be godly. The wisdom of man is good, but it's not necessarily from God. That's one difference. The wisdom of God is everlasting. The wisdom of God will always have eternal reward or revenue. The wisdom of man is just for a season.
Evangelist Ruth Nana Ishraba, how do you know if you are submitting in the right way, please?
You will know you are submitting in the right way when they can rebuke you when you are wrong, when you can be corrected. You know when you are being taught. When the man you are following is teaching you by example, when he's teaching you in every area, then you know that you are really submitting the right people and many other things.
Papa, you said before you fall in love with a man or a woman, fall in love with the quality of
his mind.
I want to ask, in the case of the prophet Hosea, where God told him to marry a prostitute for a particular time, is there a case where you can be with someone in order to change the person? Is that a wisdom?
Well, you find that when prophet Hosea was going to marry the prostitute was not mad. There are people who are mad, but they are still walking, wearing suit. So I want to tell you right now that no matter how much you love somebody, if you find that the person is mad, your love for the person will reduce. You see somebody sitting down, this beautiful girl, she looks intelligent, she looks sexy. By the time you approach the person, you find that the person is mad, you change your mind. So the quality of the mind is important. But the question is, if you find out, no, so you don't marry somebody when you change the person. Are you God? Even God will not change everybody. Will give you the permission for you to change.
Papa, what if you want to help out the person?
Then go and help the person. Don't marry the person. Never marry anybody with the intention that I'm going to change. Are you God? Have you been able to change yourself to change somebody else?
What are some of the qualities you need to look for? Some of the qualities you need to look for when you are falling in love with somebody.
Make sure the person is sound. He's not mad. But as I said, there are people wearing suit, wearing kaba, dressing nice, but they are mad. Anyone who can easily destroy whatever he or she is building is mad. So make sure the person is not mad. Make sure the person pursue God. Make sure the person has discovered his or a purpose. If the person have not discovered his purpose, it will become a burden to you. Make sure the person really understands his identity and is ready to pay the price to become who God wants him or her to become. Well, these are a few I can tell you.
So what happens when the priority list you have made is quite different from the kind of person God wants you to marry? For example, you are looking at intelligence, you are looking at this, you are looking at that. But then you find out in prayer or by the will of God that that is not the person. When you also have to look at certain things, how do you combine them?
Well, I believe that no matter how intelligent you become, your intelligence has a certain limit. That's why everyone has a certain point of ignorance. If you're a medical doctor, you don't know something about law, which makes you ignorant at a point. So in the same way, God is all-knowing. He knows everything. So if God is telling you that this person is better, then he knows why he's telling you. So if you're a wise person and you are sure that God is the one telling you, you follow what God is telling you.
Is it possible to, for God to let you marry somebody you do not love? You do not love personally. Is it possible
who will make
for the Lord to lead you to marry somebody?
I am not sure. I'm sure that whoever God leads you, then definitely there's something that binds the two of you together. God will not give you something you are not proud of. when God gave Adam, in fact, God did not even give Adam. When God presented Eve before Adam, God did not say anything. When Adam said, my, God, you are creative. So whatever God shows you, you will say, my. I'm telling you. Except you are deciding to say it. But if you are truthful, you will know that there is something about this that really moves me. Keep your question coming on Facebook.
If you discover that you've not been given something that is hidden in someone close to you, yet the person is unwilling to let you have access, what do you do?
Learn how to romance the person to take whatever you have. You find out that in 2 Kings chapter 4 and verse 8 downwards, when Elisha got to the city of Shunem, the Bible says that the Shunammite woman went to him, and the Bible used the word constrained. That means the man of God wasn't willing. Most of the time, people don't know how to persuade people in order to get whatever they are looking for. So please pay the price to get whatever you are looking for. You will get it. Well, there's someone from Ben Yabuache Botri. Well, I will respond to the message you sent to me, Ben Yabuache Botri, speaking from the Netherlands. This very deep teachings. I really want to partake in one of your next trainings in Ghana. Is there any specific date in October? Yes. I'm just sending a message. I'll bring you on board and we'll take it from there. Please, I've sent you mail. I know I will answer to that one. In case you also love to be on the show, just inbox me and I'll bring you on the show. Yeah, more questions, please.
John B. Legend. How can you know the will of God?
How can you know? You can only know the will of God when you go to God. If you go to man, you get to know the will of man. So go to God, you get to know the will of God. You'll find out that when Joseph found out that Mary was pregnant and was confused, Joseph was thinking about how he will put Mary away privately. But the Bible said that night God appeared to him. Why? God showed him his way. So go to God, he will show you his will.
Nana Kamna Frimpong Jr. Prophet, I want to know how God talks to a prophet.
That's powerful. Well, this is actually not a prophetic teaching, but God talked to a prophet the same way you talk. You know, like as I'm speaking, you can hear me. So there is a realm God speaks that you hear God. Example is 1 Samuel chapter 3. When God came and spoke to Samuel, Samuel heard it and went to Eli. So when God speaks, like I'm speaking, prophet here, God also shows them visions, shows them dreams and things like that.
Abraham Bongreat, Papa, please. How do you still cope with someone who has invested before in your life and later on sees its benefit or outcome that has lifted you and later goes about broadcasting it to everybody, especially in your vicinity?
But if he has helped you, what do you want to do? You are sure he has helped you. So humble yourself. If it's true he helped you and he's saying it, it's up to him. So please humble yourself. If you are someone who is humble, it will not affect you. Someone helped me to come this far. My uncle helped me. My dad helped me. My spiritual father, Reverend Boasen, helped me. Apostle Emmanuel Nku, my father, helped me. All my fathers have helped me to be where. So if they say that they have helped me, there's nothing wrong with that. I need to accept it. That's true. They are not lying. They helped me. Reverend Dr. Victor said my father helped me. Apostle Dr. Miwazi helped me. My father, Reverend Olumide Emmanuel, helped me. So Charlie, that is the truth.
Okay. Betty,
so don't be ungrateful, please.
Okay. Betty Inshaba Nelson-Eshun. Papa, please. How do you differentiate between a good leader and a godly leader based on the secret number 8?
A good leader and a godly leader. Most of the time, a good leader must be a godly leader. But it's not all the time. So if you want to differentiate between a good leader and a godly leader, look at their core values. Their core values will let you know who is a good leader and a godly leader.
Lauren Combo, man of God, all your sons prophesy. Do you mentor daughters too in the prophetic?
If the daughters present themselves, I will mentor them.
Prophet Prince Akwesi Ibekwe. Papa, how do you know that you have the prophetic grace? Beside, I look up to you in ministry.
God bless you. You know you have the prophetic grace when you keep on having frequent desire for the prophetic. When you keep on having dreams, then it's a sign that you have a prophetic grace.
Jennifer Adai, Daddy, is your spiritual side open 24/7?
Well, I'm not sure. When someone is a medical doctor. It's not always that he's at the hospital. So in the same way, it's not every day that my spiritual side is open.
Please, how do you successfully stay connected and maintain a relationship with key people who influence your life but are in different geographical locations?
The key of remembrance. The key of remembrance will always let you know that people have helped you. The key of value, placing value on all these people will also help you.
Okay. John O2, trying to get it. He said, okay, prophet, why does some prophet leave their wife and marry another?
I don't know. When you meet them, you ask them. I said some prophet. I don't know the prophet, so in case when you meet them, you just ask them.
I want to find out with point 8, one of the greatest blessings God can give to a people is it possible God can give the people a bad leader?
I don't know. You see, Saul, you can look at Saul and say that Saul was not a great leader. But you see, anyone who can decide to give his platform to another to manifest, then is a great leader. The problem between Saul and David was created by the women who attributed almost everything to David, but Saul should have checked his heart. So I'm sure that good leaders are there. It depends on how you relate with them.
Papa, when it comes to the will of God, is wisdom applicable?
Wisdom is applicable in every area of life. So in everything, wisdom is applicable.
Let's say God has given you a direction. You have some balls on your skin. And God says, go and lie in the gutter.
So God says that go and lie in the gutter. First, you have to know that at times God can speak in parables. So find out whether God is speaking in parables before you go and misbehave.
Is it possible that what God said was literal, in the sense that lie in the gutter means lie in the gutter?
Well, that's why you need to ask God what, if that means to lie in the gutter. Because most of the time, the things I have heard someone who says that, okay, let me leave it out. But most of the time, what God says is not because it's not what you think He's saying. So don't think for Him. Ask Him again. He'll give you the clarity.
Maybe God's will for you is maybe A, and you have your permissive will that you want to achieve, that is B. Is there a way that God can synchronize your will with His will?
When whatever you want to do is your ambition, whatever He wants you to do is His vision for you. When your ambition is in line with His vision for you, there is great blessing. But when your ambition is not in line with His vision, then it will lead you to distortion and distraction.
That in a secular state like ours, our constitution stipulates that Ghana is a secular state, not affiliated to any particular religion. When you look at spiritual leadership and secular leadership, which one of the two would be better for the political administration of the nation?
Of the nation. I think that if it's the amalgamation of the two, that is the best for the nation. If you have a spiritual leader who is not intelligent, why do you have to put the nation? He doesn't know how to manage an economy. How do you hand over the management of the economy to him? But if a spiritual leader also knows secular principles, which are also ingrained in the scriptures, then it's the best.
This Derek appears upon. Papa, how can my spiritual eyes be open?
Come and see me. Your spiritual eyes will be open.
Bastian Dodd, Prophet General, what is your key to being resilient and bouncing back from major setbacks?
Well, I accept, number one, I am not God, I am a man. And as long as I'm a man, I will make mistake. Number two, I accept the fact that if I make mistake, my mistake don't define me, I define my mistake. Number three, I hold on to God in everything. Number four, I don't allow public opinion to destroy my future dominion. I am so strong. My mind is already made up. I know there will be time I will fail. I know there will be time I might disappoint people. I'm almost ready for almost everything that life presents to me.
John B. Legend, Prophet, how can you identify your ministry?
By serving in the house of God.
Emmanuel Nanakwaku Kwanzaa, man of God, please, why do some people struggle in prayer? And please, how can they overcome it?
Because they don't know the essence of prayer. If you know that prayer is a communication, is a means through which humanity communicate with divinity, then you have your own style of communicating with God. But when you want to talk to God like other people, then you definitely struggle. So you start by talking to God. You start by talking to God. You start by making time and talk to Him. As you talk to Him, you move from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Keep on talking to Him. You move from 10 minutes to 1 hour. As you talk to Him, you'll be able to enjoy 2 hours, 3 hours.
Prophet Prince Akwesi Ibekwe. Papa, what are the 3 powerful things that the devil used to try the prophets?
I don't know the 3 powerful things the devil used to try prophet, but one of the things I can tell you is pride. Most of the time, prophet are tempted with pride. I will also talk about sexual sins, and I will talk about what again? I'll talk about loneliness. You were expecting me to talk about money. I won't talk about money. I'll talk about loneliness.
And J. Mosonic, if someone is married, but he or she dreams of getting married to another person, what does it mean?
God wants you to tell you, keep on getting married and make your marriage work.
Kobe Nadi, Prophet, what is the gift of discernment? And what are some of the operation of that gift?
I don't know any gift called the gift of discernment. What I know is the gift of discerning of spirit. If that's what you are talking about, then a gift of discerning of spirit is that gift that helps you to differentiate the spirit behind a supernatural activity.
Mami, a chance, such a.
I think our time is almost up. We have 2 minutes. Okay.
Daddy, please, how can I get in touch with you?
How can you get in touch with me? Inbox me. I'll get back to you, please.
Okay. Michael, please, can a prophet operate in all the ministries?
It's possible. Jesus Christ was a prophet, was an apostle, was everywhere. So it's possible to be a prophet, a pastor, a teacher, evangelist, an apostle. It's possible.
Nelson-Eshun, to what extent should we expect the prophetic to impart this nation?
Oh, to what extent? I cannot really tell you, but what I understand is that the prophetic is about to sweep over almost every sector of the economy of the world. That's what I can tell you.
Enoch Brooks, Papa, how can I meditate deeply?
Study the Bible and keep on meditating on the scriptures.
Okay. Captain Billy, man of God, please, who is your spiritual father?
My spiritual father is Reverend Ebu Asan, but I submit to 5 men of God I call my fathers. Reverend Ebu Asan, Apostle Emmanuel Nkum is my father. Apostle Daude Mewazi is my father. Reverend Olumide Emmanuel is my father. Dr. Victor Se is my father. The man who raised me up in life and ministry is Reverend Ebu Asan.
Kwame Ayenkai, God bless Papa for the great wisdom. How do you get to develop all your spiritual senses and get to a dimension where God wants to commune with you every day?
I spend time with the giver of the gift, and that helped me to develop all my spiritual senses.
Okay. Michael Amankwa, Papa, please, what is the signs that shows you are a prophet or becoming a prophet?
Well, I can't tell you, but one of the signs, anytime you begin to have desire for things connected with prophet, then it's a sign that there is something prophetic about you, but not necessarily a prophet. God needs to call you to be a prophet.
Abraham Bongre, Papa, please, how do you deal with the issue with a man of God who sees your aggressiveness in the things of the prophetic and also knows that you have a prophetic call and later on talks evil about your mentors?
Speaks evil about your mentors. I believe that no one can ever and ever and ever let me know he doesn't like my mentor. You can't get close to me if you don't like the people I love. That's my answer to you.
Evangelist Ruthie Nanan Shiraba, can people transfer bad spirit to babes? So is it better not to give your baby to people?
People can, you see, the issue about spirit is something we need to really look into it. People can transfer all kinds of things. For example, if I am infected with HIV/AIDS, and I have AIDS right now, I can decide to use your razor or anything you use, and I cut myself, put it there. When you take it, you get it. So in the same way, the Bible says that they brought handkerchiefs and apron to the apostle, and when they touched the apostle and they took it back, when people were touched, they got their healing. So someone can wear an attire, give it to you, and an evil spirit can be transferred. So it can be transferred through whatever means. That's why you need to be very spiritual.
So he says, so is it better not to give your baby to people?
You see, evil is around, but when you are strong, you don't care about the presence of evil. You now overshadow evil. Light and darkness will never compete in any race. It can never happen because light itself will not even accept the competition. Because when you show up, you know that darkness will lose. So know more about the light. When you appear, darkness will run away.
Benedict Bentil, how do you become sharper in the prophetic?
I have answered that question.
Dominic Afei, Dad, how do you handle disloyalty?
Disloyalty. Number one, by teaching you how to be loyal. Number two, by dealing with disloyalty. Number three, by using what info? Tell me. Yeah, I mean, like I use all kinds of means to. I cast out the scorner to deal with disloyalty.
And if I dream and my dreams come reality, does it mean I'm a prophetess?
That necessarily. You have the gift, you have the ability to dream. That necessarily does not make you a prophet. To become a prophet, God needs to call you.
Eldoza, Daddy, please, how do you spend time with God?
I spend time with God the same way I'm spending time with you. So I'm in His presence. I talk to Him in prayer. I read His Bible to know His mind. I worship Him. I do everything. And when I'm done, I keep quiet to hear Him talk to me.
Idris Fire, man of God, is it a requirement to have a mentor or a spiritual father? And how do you submit to one?
Well, anything that does not have a source must be suspected. That's my answer.
How do you submit to one?
You submit to one. You submit to one by looking for one.
Okay. Doctor's Edit. Papa, please, can I get a contact that I can call?
Plus 233-2340-77788. Plus 233-2340-77788.
Jennifer, Daddy, please, how do I bring a prophetic word that has been given to me into existence?
By buying the book Enforcing Prophetic Decrees, written by Prophet Bernard Elbernard.
Joanna Aqua, when you are strong, okay, it's just commenting on when you are strong about shadow. Michael Obidiaba, it seems the nation of Ghana has rejected the prophet of God, the prophet God has ordained for the nation. How can this be restored? Because it's very important.
I really don't know if the nation has rejected, but I think that there are signs that a lot of people don't want to open up to the prophet. That's why God is raising a lot of prophets, and myself inclusive, to redefine the prophetic. So we show that the prophetic will have its glory in Ghana, and a lot of prophets doing great work for God. And I'm sure that God is lifting us to a realm where the glory of the prophetic will be restored.
Obed Atara, Papa, how to develop your leadership?
You develop your leadership by going for leadership training, by leading. So go for leadership training and lead. Okay, so our time is almost. Call out the number again. Okay, I'm just giving the number again right now. The number, what's the number, Kra? No, I'm like maybe other people outside would love to call. So plus 233-234077788. So plus 233-234077788. That is the number. All too soon we are supposed to end. So I want to take a question or any comment then. So let's start from you.
Daddy, I wanted to ask that when you are going for a program and all of a sudden you become a little bit confused or nervous, what do you do at that point when you mount a pulpit?
Well, when you become confused or nervous, let someone pray for you. I mean, like there was a meeting I was going for. The first time I was going to preach for a man of God, and before I left, I felt like I shouldn't have accepted the invitation. I don't know what really happened. I was so scared. I was so nervous. So I went to my wife and I said, pray for me. And she prayed for me. And that was all. When I went, God really showed up. So let someone pray for you.
Yeah. How do you guide yourself so that you are not seen to be in competition with whatever someone has done that you also want to do?
Well, if you have to learn from the person, there's nothing wrong with going to the person to learn from, and that's one sign that you don't want to be in competition. This is what the person is doing. You know the person, you go to him, well, this the vision God have given to me. Is there any way you can advise him because you've done it before? And I think it's a good.
Papa, does wisdom have its negative side?
I don't know any negative side of wisdom. Wisdom is always positive. God is the manifestation of wisdom. Jesus Christ is the manifestation of the manifold wisdom of God, and there's nothing negative about Jesus.
Papa, I'm asking because of Solomon.
Solomon.
Yes, please. He was full of wisdom, yet he committed.
But he wasn't God, because he was a man. If you are wise and you are wise and you don't keep updating your wisdom bank, you can enter into foolishness. And that's what happened to Solomon.
I've known him for a while now. And one of the things that I see in your ministry is that everywhere you go to minister, they would always want to invite you back. What are the things you do when you go to minister that makes them want to have you back?
Number one, I go and preach about Christ. I don't go and preach about myself. Number two, I accept that I have also had some people in the past. But one of the things I do, I'm like, there's no way I preach. They have no, that's the truth. But I know my responsibility in the pulpit is to strengthen the hands of the host minister. My responsibility is to make the people keep their eyes on their pastor, on Christ, and not on me. My responsibility is to leave the church better than the way I left it. So I keep this principle. I don't go there to go and steal members or go and take numbers or go and look for what I'm looking for. I go there to preach about Christ. When I'm done, I move.
Daddy, when you prophesy concerning the callings and ministries of people, but then later they have struggles, they tend to accuse you that you said, I am called. In that kind of situation, what do you do as a prophet when you see that God has called somebody specifically into an office? Do you tell the person, or you decide that the person should find
you are not God. You are serving someone. So if he says you say it and you have said it and they are not working on it, they can go and accuse God. Don't get so worried about people accusing you, because whether you like, they will do it. So God said he has called you. God have called you. If they go and make it, will they come and tell you? So you don't get worried about some of these things. You just move on. I'm a raw prophet, so at times forgive me.
And please, you made a point that greatness is seen. Greatness is hidden in turning your problems into solutions. And I want to ask you, what are some of the practical steps you took personally as a prophet or as a leader in turning your problems into solutions?
I find out that people want to listen to me. That's why I'm turning problem to solution. I could sit there and cry and be worried. I'm turning it to solution. I spend time and I look at some of the mistakes that I've made that have really cost me, and I find a way to write books about it. So I'm making my mistakes solution to other people's problem, so I can take their money, which is very important. Yeah. Okay.
I think someone is asking me why I don't travel to Europe.
Wow. Okay, Evangelist Ruthie. The Lord told me not to travel outside Africa for 16 years. I'm done with 11 years. I have 5 more years to go. So when the 5 years are over, I'll be in Europe. I mean, when the 16 years are over, I'll be in Europe. But for now, I'm at Kosmintim, I'm at KJB, I'm at Kumasi, all of that. So that's where I am. Well, God bless you for watching us. God willing, on Wednesday, I will be in the city of Sekende, Takra, the Twin City, for 3 days of strictly prophetic with Prophet Bernard Elbernard at Best Western Plus Atlantic Hotel. In case you are in Takrady or you know anyone in Takrady, tell them Prophet Bernard Elbernard Nelson-Eshun is coming to the city of Takrady. This Saturday at 5:30 p.m., my wife, Mrs. Mimi Elbernard, will be on set on The Prophet Wife. Watch her and God will bless you. This Sunday, I want to specially invite you to worship with us at the National Theatre of Ghana at 8:30 a.m. in the morning for an awesome experience in the presence of God. God bless you. God keep you. We are going to be with you very soon. Remember, this is the Mentorship 360 with Prophet Bernard Elbernard. See you next week.